The GAN 14 Maglev has been a very interesting release by GAN, as it is better than the 13, but some people are still arguing whether it's better than the 12 or not. One issue is that the GAN 14 Maglev has a bit of a catching issue, similar to how the early batches of the GAN 12 Maglev had. I'm not sure how much of the cube's mechanism got changed from the previous two flagships, as it looks super similar to the GAN 12's mechanism, but with the edge magnets that was in the GAN 13. And that's when it hit me. YouTuber JPerm did a video on where he fixed the early batches of the GAN 12's catching issue by getting pieces from the 11, which didn't have much of a catching issue. The GAN 11M Pro has been my main for almost a year now, and I haven't really experienced much catching issues with it, if any at all in fact. So what if, similar to how JPerm did it with the GAN 12, what if I get the pieces from the GAN 11M Pro, which don't really catch, and put them into the more catchier GAN 14 Maglev? So from the looks of things, GAN hasn't really changed much of their piece design ever since the GAN 11M Pro, as they've been using this primary light plastic piece design in every single flagship since it. Now, I really don't want to make y'all sit through a boring disassembly and reassembly of these two cubes, so let's spice things up a bit. GAN 14? Okay, so looking at this cube right now, I'm gonna give it some first turns. Whoa! Okay, so this basically feels like the GAN 11M Pro, but like way faster, and that does actually make sense since this cube has maglev instead of springs. Yeah, and I don't really catch as much on this cube either. I feel like it's because the pieces on the 11M Pro don't catch up as much, and I basically just made this into a GAN 12 Maglev, since the GAN 12 Maglev had very similar pieces to the GAN 11M Pro and didn't have the corner to edge magnets. Yeah, one thing that I do have to say is that the corner cutting on this cube is super good. And this is actually how I imagined the corner cutting on the regular GAN 14 to be. And the auto alignment system, it's kinda there, not really, but it sort of behaves more like the corner to core system on the GAN 11M Pro, where it'll lightly auto align it, but not like all the way, like on the 12 and beyond, which I actually kinda like, as the auto alignment system, in my opinion, just really tripped me off a lot. Now onto the solves. So, although this cube is super fun to turn and in my opinion is much better than the regular GAN 14 Maglev, this cube reminded me of why I don't main a Maglev cube, and that is because it is super fast and very hard to control. Now, my pieces on the GAN 11M Pro are already set up to be really fast, as I have Lunar and Stardust on them. But the GAN 11M Pro is a moderately fast cube, and that's what I really like about the GAN 11M Pro, is because it's fast, but it's still stable, as with the core magnets. The core magnets on the GAN Maglev M14, yes, that's what I decided to call this cube, felt similar to like the Tornado V3 flagship and Pioneer. In other words, it felt like they weren't even there. Now, although I don't like fast cubes, that doesn't mean that this cube is good. In fact, I got a pretty good average in my opinion with this cube because of how fast it is. I couldn't start immediately as fast as I would with my GAN 11M Pro, so I had to slow down a bit during my starts. Because I was using the GAN 11M Pro's pieces on the GAN 14's core, the corner cutting was way better than on the regular 14. Now, some people experience really bad lockups and pops on the GAN 14, and so far I haven't really popped on the GAN 14, but I have experienced some minor lockups that do disturb some of my solves. And I think that if GAN were to improve a little bit more on their piece design, so that way it doesn't lock up as much, instead of just cramming in a ton of new bells and whistles into an already existing piece design, then it could work. One very major gripe that I have with this is that I accidentally created a very, very expensive cube using 2 cubes. And that was it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.